right, Ambitions fans. Now, this is the video I promised I would do after episode 3. Pretty much my general thoughts about the series so far. Will I continue to review it, even though I technically haven't done reviews for episodes 2 and 3? Now, this video is late because I'm recording it the day episode 4 is supposed to air. But to be fair, last week, not only was the Haves and the Have-Not season finale, which even I didn't think the ending was going to be as intense as it was, a hot topic to discuss. The show's been off for almost a week because, technically this is 9 p.m., meaning that it hasn't been a full 7 days yet, but the videos are still booming. And Ambitions, I did watch episode 3 on Friday because they put it on YouTube. And it was the 4th of July, so I was at home for a few days, so that's why videos fell through the cracks. But this video isn't don't expect me to review every single episode. I'm really going to be talking about the highlights, certain characters I like, my thoughts on the series overall. And to be blunt, yeah, I will continue to do videos on Ambitions. I've actually recorded 2 before I did this one. I will try to have them more organized in regards to me doing videos either Wednesday or Thursday instead of days after the episode aired. But to be honest, the Ambition videos I have posted, they aren't getting anywhere near the amount of views my Have and Have Not videos are doing. So as a person who's doing this full time for a living, yeah, you gotta stick with what brings in the money. I got bills. But for Ambitions, I have to admit, I like the show so far. I feel like every episode is getting progressively better. I think that episode 1, I watched it 4 times because when they put it on YouTube, I just rewatched it. Mainly because it dropped so much exposition in one episode. We got introduced to a ton of characters and trying to learn their names. If you go back to my episode 1 review, my gosh, that was all over the place. I didn't even take notes for whatever reason. That was a dumb move. But episode 2 and 3 were really good. I liked how we're getting more depth to the characters and getting more of the stories. To be honest, I think I'm more interested in the family dynamics of the characters as opposed to who's going to be sleeping with who. Rondell and Senior, and how their family kind of conflicts with Evan because he's moved up in social class. And, when Senior was like, well, I thought when my son made it to the position of mayor, he would keep his eye on the neighborhoods he grew up in. But pretty much, when you get sucked into that world, you pretty much become one of them, so to speak. And then Rondell lying to her father, pretty much trying to keep the family business in business. And I didn't even realize it until recording my Should Senior Sell Thelma's Place video. Rondell is no better than Lori or Stephanie when you think about it. Stephanie wants to usurp her father in order to be the head of the family law firm. Lori expects to be the next in line for the Purfoy family business. And then Rondell, I don't want to say that, well, she's kind of acting like she runs Thelma's Place and makes all the big decisions when really Senior is the one who's the sole owner of it. So their friction occurred when Stephanie pretty much brought in the offer and pretty much said all the people who have tried to sell buy Thelma's Place. Rondell pretty much has been acting as the spokesperson. And to be honest, I thought she was the person in charge, going by the all access special in the first couple episodes. But I like the fact that we really see these characters grounded when their parental figures are in the room. But as soon as they leave, you see the real ambitions of these characters. And I think that with each episode, we're seeing everyone's ambitions and what drives them within the series. And I have to say, it's pretty good. And as a male, I have to admit, there are some very attractive females in this series. Not going to lie. Very interesting cast of characters. I feel like everyone has a unique personality. We're only 3 episodes in, so I don't want to give the show too much of a high praise, but I remember the Haves and the Have-Nots during season 1. That was arguably the best seasons 1 and 2. So when it comes to Ambitions, it is definitely off to a strong start. When it comes down to my favorite character, I still think it's too early to say. Lori's growing on me, but you could make the argument, Jeremy, you like her. It's the accent, the long hair. I don't know what it is. And we know she's into chocolate, not necessarily male, but she's into chocolate. But to be completely honest, I stand by my theory that she's using Carly. She might not even be into women, but she's not opposed to doing whoever to get where she wants to get. And I do think that she's using Carly as a way to get to the Carlisle family. That's just my theory there. And Rondell, I think she's probably my favorite character just because she reminds me of my sister, and she's just like one of those people where if you're cool, then you're family with her. You know, great atmosphere at Thelma's place, the family dynamic, great music, great food, but she will cut you if you cross her or anyone she cares about. Let's see. Evan is interesting because I'm really seeing the inner conflict between what he wants and what he knows he needs to do, especially when it comes to Bella. Let's see. I mean, when it comes to fine women, I think Daphne is probably my favorite. My gosh. Wow. When she came in the office in episode 2 and right before Evan got the phone call that Thelma's place was broken into, I was like, dang, Evan, go ahead now. But yeah, I'm such a guy. I'm sorry. I know. I'm my bad. It's just like the haves and the have-nots. As soon as I saw Amanda, I was hooked. I'm like, I'm watching this show for Amanda. Then they killed her off. Now, if they kill off Daphne, Freddie, and Velma, I'm going to be mad. But let me stop. But yeah, Robin Givens, she's like 54, but still looks fine. Black don't crack. She's going to be like Cicely Tyson age and still look the same, I bet. But the Amara Stephanie rivalry, I like that aspect of it. The fact that they were college buddies in the same sorority, but then Amara pretty much took the toy that Stephanie threw in the corner. It's almost like, in preschool or whatever, when you're a little kid, when you have a toy, but then you grow out of it, you don't like it anymore. But as soon as you see someone else playing with the toy, you want it back. That's kind of what their rivalry is. The dynamic of their daughter just being completely different since they put her in another school because they need to get their own marriage together. I think, yeah, it goes back to what I've been saying. I like the family dynamic. Whenever these characters are interacting with their families, significant other, or whatever the case may be, I think that's when we really see their characters shine. Other than that, you just see them backstabbing each other and plotting. But to be fair, when Stephanie was with her husband, she did pull a gun on him in episode 1. So there's that aspect of it. But I'm very interested to see where the story is going. I don't know if this is going to be a show where I can do as many theories as when it comes to If Loving You Is Wrong, or especially the haves and have-nots, because everything seems to be right in front of us. But there are a lot of twists and turns, like when Stephanie called up Amara's what's his name, Damien, when he appeared at the end of the last episode. I'm like, oh snap, this is about to get real. So the question is, who's going to be sleeping with who, and how far are these characters willing to go in order to achieve their own ambitions? I guess is the best way to put it. And like I said before, this video is like just my quick thoughts on the series. Where do I think it's going to go? And what was his name? Hunter, right? His wife Juniper. She was giving Titus the, I'm not against trying some of this hot chocolate look in her eyes. So it wouldn't surprise me if Titus is in a Joseph position, when Lord Potiphar's wife is trying to seduce him and he doesn't, he runs away from the room and he gets put in jail. So that'll be pretty interesting. I think because I think Lori might set that up, and I'll do a theory video on that soon, but we shall see. I see that a lot of people are kind of turned off from the show for the sexual themes. Like in the last episode, when it seemed like Amara and Titus were in a sexual position, but they were playing Twister. I think the show was poking fun at itself because it's like, oh man, we're 2 episodes in and there's all this sex and whatnot. So let's give them a red herring. So I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm 27. Yeah, I'm a Christian, grew up in a Baptist church and everything, went to Liberty University, got the degrees in religion for my master's. Then I got communication for the bachelor's. And, sometimes I'm like, well, dang, am I really conflicting? And I don't mean to turn this into like a testimonial, is this a blasphemous show kind of thing, because and this part of the video where, you know, if you don't like that kind of stuff, then you might want to tune out, because I pretty much talked about everything I want to talk about. Ambitions focus. Let me put it this way: if you have gotten enough for this video, because like I said before, those are all my quick thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any new content. And the rest of this video is just going to be me talking about life stuff. So I think that yeah, I was definitely conflicted during that first opening scene when Amara was getting her booty licked by Titus and everything. And as the episode went on, I'm like, okay. And then episode 2 is like, no, in episode 1, Bella and Evan in the bath, yeah, the shower. And then in the last episode, we had Lori and Carly. And I'm just like, am I conflicting with my own religious morals by watching this stuff? Maybe this should be its own video, but I just feel like talking today. Let me put it this way. I do watch the haves and have-nots. And yeah, you know, you have like Tyler Perry's a Christian, so why is he writing all this controversial material? You know, like with LGBT characters and things like that. Even though these actors are just actors, but they're not gay in real life. It's just one of those things where it really depends on... I don't even know how to put this without sounding hypocritical. And like I said, I just feel like talking today for some reason. I've never watched porn, so to watch these shows is kind of like, okay, am I dancing on the line of that stuff because I'm watching this? But I do review these shows for a living, so what does that mean for me? Am I having a mental, like, confliction of my own convictions and morals right now? I probably am, but that's completely fine, because it's great to kind of stop and analyze this stuff. But it's just one of these things where, like, I don't drink, but I do that by choice as opposed to of my religious beliefs. Just like I don't have any piercings or tattoos. I just don't, I'm not into that. And it's not because I'm a Christian, because there are Christians who have tattoos and piercings or have had those in the past. Does it make them less Christian? So does watching these shows make me less Christian because it's blasphemous? I don't know. But I definitely see where people are coming from. It's like, man, this shows too much sex and whatnot, so I'm not watching. But and I'm not trying to make excuses. I can only speak from my perspective. But since I do have multiple social media outlets and this channel, I see a lot of comments. So I can see one side of the fence that doesn't want to engage in the show because it's too much sex. But as the show has gone on, I think there is more story. Because in episode 1, I'm like, dang, there's more sex than story. But then as we've gotten episodes 2 and 3, I'm like, oh, now it's starting to make sense. Is hot and steamy because, you know, it's an attention grabber. And, well, like I mentioned in the Lori and Carly video, sex sells. I'm not trying to excuse that, but that's actually fact. So, I mean, if the show reaches a certain point, like Empire, where it's like the story, which in season 1 was awesome, when the story is like cast aside because of too much sexual activity, whether it's women on women, man on man, or man on woman, whatever the case may be, if the substance of the show is substituted with just all out craziness, then I'm hopping out. I'm jumping ship. But I will admit that the first 3 episodes, I have been impressed because they have been adding more story elements to it. So I'm not going to apologize for this 4-minute tangent, because this isn't meant to offend anyone, but these are just my quick thoughts, my emotions towards the show. I definitely feel like they are adding more substance and story, but the sex is part of the show, because it seems like this is a show where people will lie, cheat, steal, kill, and have sex with whoever in order to get what they want. And if anything, this show definitely strengthened my Christian values, because when it comes to ambitions, it's not a bad thing to have goals and everything, but the question is, are you willing to let go of your morals and go past your limitations of right and wrong to get what you want? I think that's a good moral compass to kind of gauge this show on. Once again, not trying to excuse, well, yeah, you're a Christian, you're saying all this stuff, but you're watching this dirty stuff anyway. But just because you watch something doesn't mean you have to engage in it. Like, you know, watching Stephanie seduce men in order to get business deals and everything she wants doesn't mean a woman watching this show has to do the same thing to get a promotion at work. So, I mean, hey, it's just like I have friends who drink, but I don't because I never caved into peer pressure. Plus, people just know I don't drink anyway, so they don't try to push it on me. But it's just one of those things where it's up to you. If you watch the show, okay. If you don't watch the show, yeah, that's cool too. Like I said, if the show gets to a point where it's just making me uncomfortable because there's way too much sexual themes, but there's not really anything else in the show to, really keeps me going with the story, I'm just going to hop ship. I might do a farewell video like, hey, this show got a bit too on the sexual side in regards of just showing sex for 42 minutes, but there's no story. Then I'm going to hop ship, do that video, and then I'm not going to rant about it anymore. So as of now, I think the show's doing pretty well. I love the cast, especially on social media. They have shown a lot of love to my tweets, and whenever I post videos or anything on Instagram, they, like and sometimes comment. So I appreciate the cast. I have to say that only 3 episodes in, and the cast has done a great job of showing love on social media, almost to the extent of the haves and the have-nots. And it took me some years to get the amount of attention I have with that. So I'm just saying, if Will Packer hits me up and shares one of my videos and helps my channel blow up, don't be surprised if you see the haves and the have-nots review change to ambitions review. I'm just saying right now, because I have yet to hear from Tyler Perry, but I'm just saying, Will Packer, I'll at your boy. But thanks so much for tuning in. What has been your favorite episode of Ambitions? But it's only been 3 episodes, so to be fair, what have been some of your favorite moments from the show? I mean, to me, I love the idea of the women being ambitious, but even honestly, I think the women, this is a male and female show, but I think it's more female driven than male driven. I think Greg Peters definitely has ambitions. Evan is kind of on the fence. He's kind of trapped between Stephanie and Bella. Amara has ambition. Titus is trying to rekindle the marriage, but then he's being dragged by Stephanie, whether he knows it or not. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's a good show. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about the sexual content? Like, once again, hey, it is what it is. But I really am excited to talk more about this show. I hope episode 4 is even better than the first 3 episodes. Be sure to follow me on social media. Links to my other 2 YouTube channels, Twitter, Facebook page, Facebook group. I have Facebook groups. One for If Loving You Is Wrong, one for Ambitions, one for the Haves and the Have-Nots, and Instagram. So be sure to hit me up on those, and I will talk to you all soon. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps. $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.